Hey guys, your girl Bella. How are you? Hope everyone is doing well. Now in today's video, I'm going to answer a question that one of my Instagram followers asked me a few days ago. And their question was, what is the best credit card to use for everyday spend to maximize the number of points that you earn? Now this is such a subjective question, so there are no right or wrong answers. But in today's video, I'm going to discuss two credit cards that I think are the best cards to use for everyday spend to maximize the number of points that you earn. Now, please do not crucify me in the comments below. You can definitely feel free to comment and let me know what cards you think are the better cards for maximizing your points in everyday spend, and we can hopefully have a healthy discussion. All right, guys, so let's get right into it.
Okay guys, so let's get right into it. So the best cards for everyday spend, in my opinion, are the Chase Sapphire Reserve from JP Morgan Chase, as well as the Gold Card from American Express. Now the reason why I chose these two cards are because one, they give you flexibility as far as using your points. You're not tied to any one airline or hotel chain. You can either use them by redeeming them on the travel portal that each bank offers, or you can transfer the points to any of the travel partners that each bank has. Also, both cards come with great perks and benefits as well. Let's start with the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now, as of February 2019, the sign-on bonus is 50,000 ultimate reward points if you spend $4,000 within the first 3 months of being approved for the card. Now keep this in mind because the 3-month countdown does not start when you receive the card. The countdown starts when you are actually approved for the card. So definitely keep that in mind when you start to spend and earn your points. The annual fee is $450. You also get a $300 travel credit that can be used to erase purchases made with airlines, hotels, also covers parking, tolls, limos, ferries, etc. So you definitely have various options in order to utilize the travel credit. Now the earning rate on this card is 3 times the points on purchases made for travel and dining, and 1 time the points on all other purchases and categories. Now here is a list of an example of monthly bills that I think most of us have. These are totally made up, but I wanted to kind of give you an idea of what your earning potential would be. So I need to give you something to use, right? So here is a 12-month view of the points you would earn if you were to use this card solely to pay all the monthly bills listed in this example. Now at the end of the 12 months, you would have about 98,000 points. I just want to point one thing out to you. So if you see here in month 1, you aren't earning any points in this category because you would actually get these purchases erased with the travel credit, and therefore you don't earn any points in that first month. But you would earn points in months 2 through 12. So just wanted to point that out. Now your first option would be to redeem these points on the Chase travel portal. Now the redemption rate is 6,667 points, gives you approximately $100 to spend. So the points that we earned after 1 year, we would have $1,475 to spend on the Chase travel portal. Now I personally do not have this card because the 524 rule is preventing me from this. Well, if you don't know what that is, we'll go into that in more detail later on in the video. So therefore I can't show you these redemption rates on the travel portal. So we'll just kind of go with that for now. Now your other option is you can transfer your points to these travel partners. The transfer ratio is 1-for-1. So, but you do have a lot of options here as far as airline carriers and hotel chains. But this list is missing some key players here, right? You don't have any of the low-cost carriers such as Spirit and Frontier. You don't have any of the legacy carriers such as Delta or American Airlines, but you do have a lot of options. Now I decided to take JetBlue in my example, and we are going to book 2 round-trip tickets from JFK to Aruba for October, And as you can see here, this is going to cost me 55,600 points and also approximately $170. Now, the reason why there is some out of pocket is because you cannot use points to cover any taxes and fees on airfare. So you do have some cash you have to come out of pocket, but this is a much better price than this option, which is what you would have to pay if you were to pay for this flight in cash. You would pay $1,000 for 2 people to travel. So this is definitely a much better deal than this. And you would have points left over. Okay, so next we'll move on to the gold card from American Express. As of February 2019, the sign-on bonus is 35,000 membership reward points if you spend $2,000 in the first 3 months of being approved. The annual fee is $250, and you would also qualify for a $120 dining credit, which is given in $10 increments each month. And you would also qualify for the $100 airline credit. The only catch with this is that you can only select one airline to use this credit with, and it only covers incidental costs such as baggage fees and upgrading your seats. So just keep that in mind. It's definitely different from the travel credit that Chase offers. Now, the earning rate is 4 times the points on any money spent in restaurants and supermarkets, and 3 times the points on charges made with airlines, and 1 time the point on all other purchases and categories. Now, here is the same list of monthly bills as we had in the other example. And now here is a view of how many points we would earn in a 12-month period if we were to use this card to pay our monthly bills. So as you can see, we would have about 105,000 points. Now, you can redeem these points on the Amex travel portal. The redemption rate is 10,000 membership reward points is approximately $100 if you redeem it on airfare, and 10,000 membership reward point is approximately $80 on average if you were to redeem them for car rentals, hotels, and cruises. So the points that we earned would give us approximately $1,046 to spend on airfare and $837 to spend on the other categories listed above. And in my opinion, this is a very poor redemption value. So I would strongly recommend not to redeem your points on the Amex travel portal. I personally do not. I take my points and transfer them to the carrier or hotel chain that I plan to travel with. Now, here's the list of travel partners that you can transfer your points to. It's usually a 1-for-1 ratio, but there are some differences with that, or some outliers. The JetBlue transfer ratio is a little different, and also with the Hilton hotels a little different. And they also have specials sometimes where they give you an increased transfer ratio, so it changes from time to time. Now, in my example, I decided to book the same tickets round trip from JFK to Aruba for 2 adults, and it's going to cost me 98,000 miles and also $170 to cover the taxes and fees. But these seats are upgraded seats. As you can see, the seats are Delta Comfort Plus, so it's not main cabin. And what that gives you is more leg room in your seats, priority boarding, and you also get unlimited snacks and alcoholic beverages. Now, if you were to book the same exact tickets, it would cost you $1,300. So this is definitely a great deal and a better redemption than if you were to redeem them on the American Express travel portal. Now, just kind of want to start wrapping things up here. So I want to run through quickly the pros and cons of each card. Now, with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the pros are the $300 travel credit. It helps offset the annual fee, which is great. Also, if you any trips and airlines that you book on this card, you do then get trip delay and trip interruption insurance, which would reimburse you for any out-of-pocket expenses you incurred due to the fact that your trip was delayed or interrupted, but not if the interruption or delay is of your own making. Like if you're late getting to the airport and you missed your flight, you won't get reimbursed. But if the flight or trip is canceled due to bad weather or anything like that, you would then be reimbursed for any expenses that you incur because of these incidents. Now, you also get a Priority Pass card, which gives you access to over 1,200 lounges worldwide for you and your guests for free, which is great because some of the other cards would get you in for free, but your guests would have to pay per person. So this is definitely a great perk. You also get car rental loss and damage insurance, but in order to get that coverage, you have to decline the insurance offered by the rental car agency, and you'd have to pay for the entire rental on this card. Now, you also will get a credit if you were to charge your global entry application or your TSA pre-check application fee on this card. They would then reimburse you for it, which would make the application essentially free. Now, the cons are the annual fee, which is very expensive. Most people may not be comfortable paying that kind of annual fee, but if you utilize the perks and benefits such as the travel credit, the reimbursement and the trip protection, things like that, you definitely more than make up for the annual fee. The other con is the 524 rule, which is why I personally do not have the card. Now, if you're not familiar with what this is, the 524 rule is if you have opened, it's an unspoken rule. Chase has not put this in writing, but those of us that have been in the hobby for a long time, it is kind of like is a known thing. If you have opened up 5 new accounts in the last 24 months, you will automatically be declined for the card. Doesn't matter if you have great credit, perfect credit, outstanding credit, doesn't matter. If you have opened at least 5 accounts in the last 24 months, you will not be approved for the card. Now, the third con is that the transfer partners available may not fit your travel plans. If you are someone who prefers to travel with Spirit Airlines or Frontier Airlines or American Airlines, then you really wouldn't be able to use this card because those are not transfer partners that are available. Now, for the gold card, the pros are the dining credit and the airline credit, which definitely help offset the annual fee. Also, the gold card is a charge card, not a credit card, which means you have to pay the balance in full each month. But these cards are a bit easier to be approved for than a legacy credit card. So might be beneficial for anyone who has a lower or not so strong credit score. And you also get the great protections that Amex cards come with, such as extended warranty and purchase protection. Now, some of the downsides to the gold card is the annual fee. It is expensive, may not be something that someone may be willing to pay. Also, back to what I mentioned briefly before, this is a charge card, so the balance has to be paid in full each month. You cannot carry a balance over month after month. So keep that in mind. If you can't commit to that, definitely don't apply for this card. Also, American Express is not as widely accepted as Visa and MasterCard, but this is improving. But definitely keep this in mind as you think about applying for these cards. Also, if you book any travel on this card, it does not offer any trip protections as a Chase Sapphire card does. Now, that's it for this video. Before I wrap this up, I do also want to reiterate, before you apply for any credit card, definitely consider taking a look at your credit report, making sure there aren't any errors, mistakes, or anything that would prevent you from being approved. Also, think about, are you comfortable paying an annual fee? As you can see with these 2 cards, the annual fees are kind of expensive. So if that's not something you are comfortable doing, then don't apply. And also make sure you can responsibly meet the spend requirement to get the sign-on bonus. It would really be unfortunate to apply for the card, you can't make the spend requirement, you miss out on the bonus points. That would really suck, right? And also, will you be able to use the points that you are going to earn? So take a look at the transfer partners, make sure that they kind of fit into your travel plans, future travel plans, because it would make no sense to apply for the card when you can't use the points. All right? Well, guys, as always, thank you so much for listening to my video. Don't forget to like and comment below, and feel free to share, and also don't forget to subscribe. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening, and have a great day. Okay, guys, bye.